Week 7 of fantasy football is in the books, and wow, what a roller coaster. From breakout stars to major busts, clutch performances to heartbreaking injuries, this week gave us plenty to talk about. In this video, we're breaking down the biggest takeaways you need to know heading into Week 8. Who's rising, who's falling, and how to get ahead in your league. Let's dive in. Number 1 is Jordan Addison, who scored 22 fantasy points coming off of a bye week. That bumps his average up to 17.5 fantasy points per game, and without scoring a TD in that incredible game, he still has much room to grow. Number 2 is Tua Tagovailoa, and in his worst game of the season, he scored only 1.4 fantasy points, didn't throw a single touchdown, and threw 3 interceptions. That's a bad sign for the Dolphins, as they lost 31-6 against the Browns. Number 3 is the Eagles wide receivers, who finally had a breakout game. They both scored over 28 fantasy points, with A.J. Brown scoring 28.1 and Devonta Smith scoring 33.3. This breaks the Eagles' 2-game losing streak and is a great sign for the team. Number 4 is Aston Jeanty, who only scored 4 fantasy points in a loss to the Chiefs, where the Raiders' offense was non-existent. This is a problem because he will run a ton less if the Raiders are losing, and if they aren't scoring TDs, this limits Jeanty's upside. Number 5 is Alvin Kamara, who had his first game below 6 points with 5.9. This is a result of an active passing game because the Saints were losing for most of the game. However, with the injury to Kendre Miller, Kamara will get added touches. Number 6 is Chris Olave. Chris Olave is also on the Saints, but unlike Kamara, he benefited from the active passing game, having a breakout performance. He scored 26 fantasy points, proving that he remains a solid flex or starting wide receiver. This game cements himself as an important red zone and downfield target, scoring both of the team's TDs. Number 7 is Breece Hall, who had his second straight game under 8 points, scoring 7. He hasn't had a touchdown all year, with goal line work going to Braylon Allen. But with him out for one work, he could score some more TDs. Number 8 is Quinshon Judkins, who had a breakout game, scoring a season-best 26 fantasy points. He scored 3 TDs, cementing himself as the goal line back on the Browns' offense, and still much room to grow, as he didn't get any receptions. Number 9 is Rashee Rice, who had a great game in his first week back from an early season injury, scoring 23 points and 2 touchdowns. He could cement himself as the Chiefs' wide receiver 1 and a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. Number 10, injuries. Bryce Young injured his ankle and might return by week 8. But if he's not, he'll be back by week 9, and you should add his backup, Andy Dalton. Number 2 is Darren Waller, who strained a pectoral muscle and will return in week 9 or 10. Jalen Waddle and Julian Hill will see added targets during this time. And finally, number 3 is Jaden Daniels. He suffered a hamstring injury, and he's still questionable for week 8 against the Chiefs. That wraps up our week 7 fantasy football takeaways. As always, stay sharp, stay active on the waiver wire, and keep an eye on those matchups heading into week 8. If you got value from this breakdown, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss next week's recap. Good luck setting those lineups, and see you in week 8.